Do you ever get anxious when pulling into your hotel, wondering if your room is going to be in the very back of the property? Especially at a Disney resort, when you want to make sure your room adds to the magic of your trip. And that's where requests come into play. And today, we're sharing with you our favorite request at Pop Century Resort. Welcome to the Magical Resorts Guide. My name is Jennifer, and along with my husband Chris and baby Mason, we have been on an adventure sticking our toes in the sand, living like pirates, exploring the mountains, and splashing in ancient ruins, all on our quest to stay in all 18 Walt Disney World resorts by the end of 2022. And this week, we're excited to be sharing some tips we've picked up along the way to help make your stay magical. Let's go! So we're navigating Pop Century Resort, which is one of our favorite value resorts at Walt Disney World. If you haven't seen our resort overview tour of this property, be sure to watch that next. It's going to show you everything that you need to know before booking your stay here. I'll leave that link for you in the description below. But let's recap quickly. Pop Century gives you a walk-through time with sections themed from the 1950s through the 1990s. This value resort offers bus transportation and Skyliner access, which is a huge perk. You have the option of a standard or preferred room with either one king or two queen beds, one of which is a pull-down bed giving you more space during the day. All 4 buildings are grouped in 4 different sections around Hourglass Lake. And if you haven't done it before, Disney does allow you to make room requests. These aren't guaranteed, but we have found that the majority of the time they are able to make it happen. You can also add additional requests such as floor level, tub shower combos if they're available, cribs, and more. Just keep in mind that the preferred room categories are rooms that they think are in the most preferred locations on the property. So these, as well as water views, are an increased room rate and can't be requested. But we have found that preferred rooms aren't always the best to book. So let's explore this property's layout to see which section would be best for your vacation. If you are planning to spend all of your time at the Disney theme parks, then you're going to want to be as close to Disney transportation as possible, especially if you plan to take advantage of the early entry that's available specifically for resort guests. If you are booking a standard room, then you will want to request either Building 6 in the 1970s section or Building 3 in the 1950s section, and if possible, the wing closest to the center of the property. Both preferred and standard rooms can be found here. By booking a standard room and adding a building request, you will be getting a great location plus a great price. These buildings are a nice midway point between the Disney buses, which you will use for Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom, and the Disney Skyliner, which is your transportation to Epcot and Hollywood Studios. Here you will have less than a 5-minute walk to either transportation option, plus the food is pretty close too. If you are someone who likes to be in the middle of the action, you are going to want to be close to the Hippy Dippy pool. This is the largest pool on the property and is where you will find cast member games and Movie Under the Stars. Rooms directly facing the pool are in the preferred category and will cost extra. But if you request a standard room in Building 5 and 6, then you will have a room on the back side of the buildings that are closest to the pool with less than a 2-minute walk to all of the action. Not to mention, Building 5 and 6 are closest to the Disney Skyliner and potentially can have a view of the lake, which is an extra perk. If you want to be close to a pool, but not all of the action of the main pool, then we would suggest requesting the 1950 section. There are 3 total pools on the property, with the Hippy Dippy being the largest. The other 2 pools are in the 1980s and 90s section, and then the 1950s section, which was our personal favorite. This pool is themed to a bowling alley and has lots of space to lounge and really fun classic 50s music playing. Building 3 would be our suggestion here because even the standard view rooms aren't too far from the action, plus in this area they tend to be a little less noisy. And now, speaking of noise, this resort is large and typically filled with lots of people. Rooms that are near the pool and transportation, and this includes your preferred rooms, can be very noisy. And if you are a light sleeper, have a baby with an early bedtime, or just want to relax away from all of the noise, then you're going to want to request a room that matches your vacation style. We would suggest Building 7 or 9 in the 1980 section. Building 7 is closer to the parking lot, and Building 9 will be closer to the lobby. To be honest, the 80s and 90s section is our least favorite because it's such a far walk, and that's the reason why it's so quiet. And after walking all day at the theme parks, I don't want to take one extra step that I don't have to. If you feel the same way and want to stay closer in, consider traveling with a sound machine. I've linked our favorite one in the description below. We always travel with it and never have any issue with the noise outside of our rooms. But if you are really concerned about noise or crowds, then consider Building 7 or 9 to help you find a quiet escape. The biggest issue we've seen people have with this resort is the theming. Many say that it comes off cheesy and isn't very Disney inspired, and if nostalgia isn't your thing, then you may not like the theming either. But it's hard to beat the great prices, Skyliner access, and convenience of this resort. Now the 1950 section does have Lady and the Tramp, and the 60s will have Mowgli and Baloo. But if your kids aren't into classic Disney films, request a room over in the 70s section. This area has a larger-than-life Mickey Mouse phone, giving you a view of the main mouse every time you leave your room. Plus, the inside of all rooms is themed to Mickey, which enhances the theming even more. The 70s section is a moderate walk to transportation and dining. Not the closest, but not the furthest either, and if you have a Mickey lover in your group, then this is a wonderful section to make the magic come alive. Now, if you're wanting to add a request this specific to your reservation, the best thing to do is call 1 to 2 weeks in advance and ask a cast member to add the request to your reservation. Or if you're just booking, you can always do it at the time of booking as well. Requests aren't guaranteed, so keep that in mind, but most of the time we have had our requests met, so it never hurts to ask. And be sure to keep a watch on the clock. Requests can delay your check-in time. If it seems like that is happening, you can always go to the front desk and ask them to drop your request in favor of the next available room. If you want to see more tips and tricks, be sure to check out the description below, which includes our favorite blog post, our Amazon vacation pics, and much more. And don't forget to subscribe to see where we head to next. We are staying in all 18 Disney resorts by the end of 2022, and we would love to have you join us. Be sure to check out this playlist next to see where we've been. And if you're planning a trip soon, we hope you have a magical resort stay.